everyone, welcome back to the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. We are going to go through another day in the life of reselling for me in this Vlogmas series, day 8 or 9. We're going to start off by following along as I go to a Facebook Marketplace sale, or at least what I hope will be. I am trying to sell this right there. That big guitar speaker that I picked up in the storage unit auction from about a year ago. I think I listed it about 2 weeks ago. Originally had it listed for $100. I had one person reach out and offered me $60, and I was hoping to get at least $80, so I countered at $80 and didn't hear back from him. Then yesterday I decided I just want to get rid of it. It's big and bulky. I dropped the price down to $50, and I think I've got 5 or 6 messages on it. So going to meet somebody who said he wanted to get it for $50. Obviously, I missed out on $10, so sometimes that's the price of being a little too greedy at the beginning. But moral of the story is, well, assuming the guy gets it, at least I get $50 and some more space. So hopefully I'll be selling it here in a little bit. All right, made it here to the parking lot. I always let people know what car I'm driving so that they can hopefully spot me easier in the parking lot. And he let me know what car he was driving. He's driving a taxi cab, that's a first and relatively unique. First of all, that there's still even taxi cabs around. I mean, I know there are, but with Uber and Lyft, it's surprising that they're still in existence. But anyway, hopefully he'll be showing up soon. I thought he might get here before I did, because I was a little bit late leaving the house, but he did message me to say he was on his way, so that's always a good sign. Well, I had to move parking spots a little bit, so no big deal, but got it sold, so $50 in the pocket, which is nice. And again, the space is added to the shop, because like I mentioned in my video yesterday, I gotta do some reorganizing yet again. It's just getting too cluttered. I have a couple of other really big things. I got my jukebox that I need to get tested out and try and get sold, and I have my CBD oil extraction thing that's still the big wild card. I think I'm gonna get that. I think I'm gonna get listed, and I'm gonna ask people to send me an offer. I'm not gonna put a price on there. I know a lot of people will put a price on there, but because I have absolutely no idea what it's worth, I could put a price of $500 on there, and somebody would be willing to spend $2,000 on it. I don't know. So that's what I'm gonna do. It just occurred to me, I think, in the last 3 seconds. So anyway, back to the house, and we'll get back to the video here in just a second or two. All right, we are back in the shop. Going to pull the orders that have sold for me over the last day, and there have been quite a few. I did start a sale earlier today, and I think that has definitely picked up a lot of the activity on my store. I did 2 separate sales, one for 30% off, one for 50% off. Trying to get some of the old stale items out of here. The 50% off were, I think, things that were over 200 days old, maybe even a little bit longer than that. And then the 30% off are, I think, things from 100 to 200 days old. So basically anything less than the last 3 months is not on sale. And for the most part, anything more than 3 months is on sale. So definitely already seen a little bit of movement, which is nice. So let's start pulling orders. The first couple of items are not sales. One of them is a small, new-in-the-box transformer. I say small because it's literally small in size and small in dollar amount. Is this tiny little guy here, I believe. Let me just double check on that. Yes. So this is Transformers The Last Night Mohawk, and that was $14.99 plus shipping on that. And then this next one, so I had bought a pair of snowboard pants, and I went to list them, and they're dirty, so I need to wash them. I haven't washed them yet, but I did notice on the pants there was a belt, and it didn't go with the pants. It was something that the original owner, when they donated it to the thrift store, they left it on there. So I took that off and listed that. only paid $7 for the pants, so I just said I paid $1 for this out of the 7. This is a Dub brand weather gear. There we go. Dub brand weather gear belt, $11.58 plus shipping. There were no others listed, none that had ever sold on eBay in the last 3 years anyway. So I didn't know what to price it at. Figured it wasn't too expensive. Couldn't find any even for sale. I don't know if the company exists or what. It was a big mystery, so I figured $11.58 was not too bad for essentially a free item I kind of didn't even know I had when I bought it. All right. This next item, this is the first thing that sold in my sale. I'd picked this up at a Goodwill, I don't know, quite some time ago, long enough that it ended up in my 50% off sale. It is a Swedish brand of cast iron. So it's this here, it's called Skepschult, and it's this small pot or little tiny Dutch oven called a yarn casserole pot, and I bought 2 of these. Sold one for close to full price, but anyway, I paid $60 each, so $120 total. So if you look at it that way, I sold the other one for $150. I sold this one for $70, so $220 out of my $120 purchase. Not great. This one I sold for $70, so I essentially broke even getting my money back. But it was a risk. There's not a lot of those that have sold on eBay. It's a high-end, obscure cast iron brand. Definitely took a huge risk spending that much money on it, but I kind of wanted to just try it out, and it you know, I made a decent profit, probably $80-ish, so not too bad. Not as good as I'd hoped though. This sold. I've had this for a long time, well over a year, probably a year and a half or so. This is a 3XL Blazers jacket, Mitchell & Ness Hardwood Classic, super cool. Didn't find any others listed or had sold. Paid $10 for it, but it was just too niche, I guess. So eventually I ended the listing, sold similar, listed it for $40, and then somebody sent me an offer today for $28, and I said, yes, let's just get it out of here. So it is, I charged $14 for shipping. Not exactly sure why I charged so much. I mean, it's big and heavy. And it is going semi-local, so I'll probably make another $5 or so off of the shipping, which will counter that amount a little bit. So not too bad. We'll throw this in the middle a little out of order, but I forgot I also had a Poshmark sale. And it is for this Pendleton wool blazer. I believe it's a women's blazer. And picked this up for $4 quite some time ago at the church rummage sale that I go to, and that sold on Poshmark for $50 plus shipping. I had it listed a little bit higher, but somebody sent me an offer for $50, and as long as it's been, I will gladly take that. So that's a nice sale, and that means I sold on 3 platforms today: Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, and eBay. So that is always nice to hit kind of the triangle of reselling wonderfulness. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. And then we have another sale item. Found this at, somebody had like a garage sale that they also had, you could tell they had like a antique booth somewhere or something. And they had a bunch of like, I don't know, overstock from their antique booth. Sure, this will not focus at all. Try and get that on there, but this is from the Seattle World's Fair in, I think, 1962. It's a keychain. It's got an image of the Space Needle on there, and then inside here is actually like an old school address book. Taking the time to share this because it's just kind of interesting. So it's a little souvenir that you could get from going to the Seattle World's Fair when the Space Needle was unveiled. So inside this keychain are a bunch of little address book stuff. Name, address, phone number. Just a very unique
little piece. That sold for, picked this up for $2. That sold for $17.49. Free shipping after it was on my sale. And then the last item to pull, just another thing that I've had listed forever. I ended it. Sold similar. Somebody sent me an offer for $10. I actually got this for free from a garage sale. I picked up like 6 or 7 of them. Louis Vuitton boxes, and sold all the other ones really quickly. For some reason, this one just sat and sat and sat. And it finally sold for $10, free shipping. It's light. I'll put it in a poly mailer. I'm not going to make much money off of it, but anything, of course, is a profit because it is something I got for free. So it's rather late in the day. I had a tough day at my real job, but it ended up really well because something I've been working on for a couple of months that I've been stuck on and stuck on and stuck on, I finally, through a series of random epiphanies, figured it out. So that's a huge weight off my shoulder, especially right before the weekend. So that is a big relief, but it took away a good chunk of time from my reselling business, which is, well, as to be expected. I normally, work in chunks. I'll work over my lunch break. I will work maybe later in the afternoons, like after my shift or before my shift starts in the morning. So I'll sneak some time here and there, but that time is going to be very minimal today because, of course, I had to go and meet somebody for the Facebook Marketplace sale, and then I'm going to have to spend the rest of the time this afternoon shipping so I can get these out the door before the post office closes at 5. But I do hope to keep tackling the mess. This is one area I think that is just the worst. I've shown it to you many, many times. It's just a catch-all for a bunch of things. Some big things as well. The guitar speaker was in here, so that's a little bit more space. But I got this stuff right here, which it's like a reverse osmosis water filtration system that I bought for $20, but I don't know how much luck I'm going to have selling it. It's really big and bulky. I would definitely like to get it out of there. And then on the other side, I keep putting it off. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I bought this big old lot of scuba diving equipment, and some of it, there's a bunch of like regulators and stuff that it really should be tested, I think, before I sell it. But what I'd really like to do is go to the scuba company in the area, and maybe they'll buy it. Just buy the tote off me. I bought it for $50. If they give me anything above, say, $100, I would definitely take that as a win. So we'll see. Maybe I will do that tomorrow. And then this is, my jukebox, and then the CBD oil thing there, and then just a bunch of other random stuff. I need to clear it up. It's driving me insane. So probably spend some time working on that tomorrow. Hopefully the next time I show it to you, which might not be for a while, but hopefully it will be cleaner. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Like this video if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Good luck with your reselling ventures out there. And thank you to Harley Gal, the PDX Posse member. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.